Welcome back to Love and Junk. I'm Laura.
I'm John.
And today we have an exciting cooking episode.
Oh, yes. When Laura first made this for me, I was like, this is the most amazing thing I've ever tasted.
Really?
Oh, it's good.
I mean, it's good.
It's delicious. And it's one of the recipes that Laura introduced me to that I just love and I can't wait for. There's several of those, but this is one of them.
All right, so this is stuffed shells. So it's an Italian dish. It's very similar components to spaghetti or lasagna. Probably closer relative of lasagna, I would say.
Probably.
Because it has that ricotta, cheese kind of filling.
Yeah, it's like a manicotti, you know.
Yeah, similar to that. Stuffed shells, so the shells are a little bit easier to stuff than manicotti.
Oh, yeah.
I've made it the exact same way with manicotti, and nobody wants to be around me for that. all of them split, and
I've done it before. You gotta be careful.
Yeah.
For sure. And yeah, they split and they make a mess.
Well, even if you don't split them, they naturally come out of the water, or they're broken when you get them, or whatever. So this is just easier, and we're going to show you how we make it. All right, so this is a guide for ingredients. Definitely the shell pasta, right? And some kind of meat. It doesn't matter if it's ground turkey, ground beef, if it's sausage, if you mix it, whatever you want. We are using a combination of ground beef and Italian style ground turkey. Then whatever kind of sauce you want. Now we are using today a combination of white sauce and red sauce. It can be all red, it can be all white. I've made it both ways. I've mixed it. It doesn't really matter, whatever you like. You can make your own sauce. Sometimes we do that. We don't have time today. So there's that. Onion, because, onions and mushrooms go in everything, right? Sometimes I use chopped spinach. Most of the time I use chopped spinach. It goes good in this dish. Cheese, of course, for in the stuffing as well as on top. Mushrooms, like I said. And I like to use both ricotta and cottage cheese. And then, of course, some seasonings. All right, so current situation, we have spinach draining. That's just a bag of frozen spinach. We have onion chopped, ready to go into the meat. We have meat cooking. So this is 1 pound of, we used Italian ground turkey and 1 pound of ground beef. I really like this with sausage and ground beef. I've just used sausage. Like I said, do it however you want. It's good with no meat at all, too, by the way. And then we have water boiling for those guys to take a little bath in. That's where we're at. I can't wait. Here's an update. We have the noodle jacuzzi going.
We've got the ground beef and the ground turkey already browned, and we've added onions and mushrooms.
So next we're going to season. You season it with whatever you want. Usually I do Italian seasoning, of course garlic, salt and pepper. Use whatever you want. And now we're going to make the filling. Current situation, the filling is underway. So what we have in here is there's an egg on the bottom to kind of hold it together. You could use a couple eggs if you want to, but I generally use one. That entire container of ricotta cheese and about 3/4 of a container of cottage cheese, would you say?
Yeah.
Or was it more like half?
I think half.
Okay. Oh yeah, looking at this, definitely 1 egg is plenty. Then we season it, and you can season it with whatever you want. You want to season all of the components. So you want to season the water for the pasta, you want to season the meat, and you want to season this. So we are using garlic powder, salt and pepper, and Italian seasoning, in both the sauce and in the filling. And then we are gonna throw in some basil, fresh out of our garden, the first time we're using it this year, on the top. So I'll show you that later. So now we have kind of pushed through the colander the extra water as much as we can. Then you can see John was kind of blotting it off with a paper towel. Now we're throwing it into the middle. If you don't like spinach, leave it out. If you'd rather have broccoli or, I don't know, artichoke hearts or whatever. If you want to add olives to this, however you want to make it. But generally we use spinach and mushrooms for the veggies. So he's just going to finish tossing that in, and then we're going to stir the filling up. It's almost time to get the pasta shells filled. All right, so here we are. When everybody is browned and cooked, then we add the sauce. So we are doing 1 jar of red, 1 jar of white. I say white, Alfredo. It can be both red, it can be both white, however you want to do it. I really am a fan of mixed sauce though. I think the Alfredo kind of balances the acidity that's in red sauce. Makes it extra creamy, I think. Couple little kitchen tips here. So we're gonna let this bubble and cook while we finish with the filling. When we drained the noodles, I had John reserve some of the pasta water. It's starchy, and sometimes that helps kind of combine the sauce with the noodles. So we're gonna add a little bit of that, probably not a ton because we don't want it too liquidy, but that's a good little tip. And then the other thing too is if this gets too thick, we have our little jars over there that we can add just a teeny tiny bit of liquid to, shake the jar. I think a lot of people do that. And then put the rest of it back into their sauce. It helps get those last bits of sauce out of the jar and adds a little bit of liquid if you need it to your sauce. All right, so we have well-seasoned filling here. So this is ricotta, cottage cheese, some Italian cheese or mozzarella cheese, frozen spinach. We have garlic, salt, pepper, Italian seasoning, parsley. And what we're doing is we're throwing it into a plastic bag, and then we're going to cut off the tip of it and fill the shells.
Yeah, use it like a piping bag.
That's right.
Okay, so we got 2 pans out because we know that it's going to take 2 of them. We just kind of sprayed the bottom of them, and we're about to start filling our shells.
Step 1, put a little bit of sauce. We've sprayed these pans, and then put a little bit of the sauce down in the bottom. That's good.
Okay.
All right, so here's what we do. I hold the shells, and John pipes in the filling. And sometimes this is a messy, horrible process that makes my OCD go crazy, but I just have to let it go. Some of the shells are you can see, some of them are gonna be ripped up. It doesn't matter because it's getting covered with sauce and cheese. So they don't all have to be beauties like this one, right? Just don't worry about that at all.
Just fill it and stick it in there. Put them in bed next to their friends. Oh, these are so good. I cannot wait.
Yeah, now if they're like this, that's probably not usable. If they're totally opened and trashed. We haven't made these in a while, I feel like.
Yeah, it's been, I don't know.
Have we made them in this house? Yeah, we have.
Yeah.
We've been in our house for about a year, and
It's probably been 6-8 months or so.
I kind of quantify life by where we lived.
Yeah.
Like in this house, in the rental house, in the old house. Everything's better in this house. Although we did some amazing cooking, I have to say, in all the houses we've lived in.
Oh yeah, that doesn't change, right?
Right. And there's not a rule as far as how full you want them. This is kind of a perfect one, which is why I'm stopping and showing it to you. You don't want it so full that it's open and hard to close like that. You want it to close a little bit on itself, but the rest is kind of up to you. I can tell you every single time we've made these, we end up with way more. We always use 2 boxes of these shells, and we end up with way a lot of them left over.
Which is awesome.
Well, I don't mean that. I mean, I know what you mean. He means leftovers.
That's what I mean.
What I'm talking about is you're going to have way a lot of the pasta shells left over. You're not going to use them all. We have 2 boxes. This is going to do 2 pans and then some. And the reason why you're going to have so much left over is you're going to have lots of scribbles and scraps, parts and pieces of these noodles that you can either throw into a soup or use for something else. Throw some cheese on it, butter, whatever, and eat them just plain, or get rid of them.
Okay, we just completed this pan. Put the layer of sauce down, and then cheese on top. And we're doing that to the second pan. And we didn't have enough shells we had enough shells, we didn't have enough filling to fill it completely, but it's still going to be delicious.
Well, keep in mind, this was 1 full container of ricotta and about 3/4 to a half of cottage cheese. I think if you had 2 full of, 1 of cottage and 1 of ricotta, that would be enough to finish that.
Yeah.
But it is just the 2 of us. Let us remind you.
Right.
But we always cook with the intention, I don't know about you guys, but we do like to batch cook. I know that this is going to be delicious tonight, but just as exciting, I know that we're not going to have to worry about tomorrow night's dinner, and that leaves us free to do other things, or lunches another day, or whatever.
Right. Now for the good stuff. Well, it's all good stuff, but cheese, and more cheese.
And so what I like to do is use an Italian blend or mozzarella. Well, I shouldn't say. What I like to do is Italian. If you don't have Italian, use just mozzarella. So we're kind of kicking the cheese on now. And then when it comes out, I like to put Parmesan on it. And we are going to use, did I tell you guys this already? I don't know. Basil out of our garden. So Parmesan and basil still to come when it's all done cooking.
And now we're going to cover it. We have the oven set at 350, and what do you think, 45 minutes or?
Probably. I mean, this is all cooked. Everything's cooked. There's the egg, though, in the filling, and we want everything to cook. It's just like cooking a casserole. When it's all bubbly and everything, it's done. So, yeah, I would say 30 to 45 minutes.
All right, we pulled it out of the oven. My goodness, look at that scrumptiousness.
Just topping it now with basil from our garden. First time for that this year, and we're gonna dish it up and try it. All right, so it's done, and we're starving. It's late. It takes a while. I mean, it's a process to make it. I don't think it's more difficult or more time consuming than making lasagna. Very similar to that.
Yep.
Anyway, all right.
Oh, it's delicious. It's so hot too. Be careful.
Yeah, it just came out of the oven. So we topped it with basil from our garden. That's always exciting to try things straight out of the garden.
Oh yeah. Yeah, we got our first tomato popping up now, and a zucchini. So pretty soon we're gonna have a lot more.
You can take a bite. I know what it tastes like.
Me too. That is so good. My goodness.
If you like mushrooms, I'm going to tell you this. Don't make it without mushrooms.
Right.
If you don't like mushrooms, leave it out. But if you do like mushrooms, it just makes it
That's-
so much better.
It's so good.
It is good. It's hot though.
Yeah, a little Parmesan on top. Got the basil. Man, it's good. And the filling is so good. We did put it in for about 45 minutes, or for 45 minutes, and then we took the foil off the top, and then probably another 10 minutes after that. And it didn't really brown on top, which is really good because, you know, I don't like it too brown on top. I like it nice and melty, and that's where we're at.
So I think I said this in the beginning. You can't mess this up. Whatever kind of meat you want to use, whatever kind of vegetable you want to use. I mean, that you would put in with pasta, you know.
Right.
So artichoke hearts. I've seen people do it with broccoli. I always like mushroom, onion, spinach, but you can be a little bit versatile. This would be good with peppers in it.
Oh, yeah. That'd be great. Yeah. Whatever your taste is, do it.
And we do make homemade sauce. But that's just another layer. That is an all-day process
Right.
to make sauce. And God bless the people that make their own sauce, make their own pasta, make their own everything. We do some of that stuff, but that's when we're dedicating like an entire day to it. This
Right.
was a work day, a weekday. So anyway, you take the cheats where you can get them, I think.
And wonderfully delicious. So
Yeah.
no complaints here about any of that.
We liked, or did you like mixing the sauce? I think
Yeah.
I like that more than you do.
Yeah, like if we're having regular spaghetti and stuff, usually I don't like a mixed sauce. But like this, it just added flavor. Oh, I love it. One of my favorites,
So
for
good.
sure.
Hi, we have bread.
Mm-hmm.
We should be having some of it. So
I'm gonna.
let us know if you have ever made stuffed shells before or what tweaks you have made to it. And make sure you're following us on TikTok. Over there, we're Love and Junk, just like we are here. On Instagram, though, we're Love and Junk with no D. So it's LOVEANJUNK. There we post, I don't know, jokes, memes, pictures of the cat,
Yeah.
pictures of our dinner.
Almost every
whatever.
day.
I mean, we almost always show what we have for dinner if we cook.
Right.
We don't always cook like this, but I would say 4 out of 7 days we cook something. And the
Yeah.
other 3 are leftovers or something frozen or whatever. But I
Right.
would say probably 4 times a week we cook like this or, you know, similar, whatever. So on Instagram you can see what else we're making. And now, if you're not subscribed to our channel, what are you waiting for?
Why not?
And let us know what recipes you think we should try or what you would like to see us cook or do in a video, try for a video, whatever it is. Make sure you leave that all in the comments and
Yeah.
make sure you hit the little bell
Ding.
so you can be notified when a new video does go up. Now, if you like cooking or
I do.
food
Me too. Oh,
or
I'm
pasta,
starving.
yeah,
Yeah.
or getting things out of your garden, that's so fun.
Oh, it is wonderful.
That's like my favorite time of year.
Yeah.
Anyway, then give this video, or, you know, us or the video, then give this video a big thumbs up. And that's all we have for today.
That's it, guys.
Thanks for watching.
Bye.
Bye.